Yo, what's poppin', people? Cobra Star Green back with you guys in that video. Y'all first time finding my channel or anything like that, you got definitely the subscribe button. Also like the video. Yes, today we'll be reviewing the new film, The Barbarian. Ooh, now look, I'm going to tell you guys off rip. This is a non-spoiler review, but best believe me, I'm dropping a spoiler review. This is one of those type of movies where you really have to be careful on what to say and what not to say. Because when I go into these movies, I really don't see the trailers that much. But from what I just saw earlier today, I'm pretty sure the trailer didn't showcase none of this. So we're gonna go off, and I'm going to not do any spoilers in this one. But if you do want the spoilers, click above whenever the video will be live. I'll put a link it on this one. But yo, let's go ahead and talk about this one. So this movie, like I said, The Barbarian, has not been talked about much. Honestly, I think this is a movie that's trying to be, or going to try to be like, what was the movie that came out earlier? Everything Everywhere All at Once, that it just gets bigger with the word of mouth. And honestly, I think it might work for this one. That's just me being honest. This is the type of movie you need to see with an audience. I'm not BSing. Now, I was in there with a bunch of critics, right? I go to press screenings. So it's a bunch of critics taking notes, stuff like that. But this is one of those movies where I really wish I was with an audience that was engaged with the film, because there are so many like jump scares, plot points, stuff that's happening that critics next to me are like, okay, and they just write down their notes, and then I'm doing the same exact thing. Like, as you guys can see, I have a bunch of notes, but I'll save a lot of these notes for the review. But let's go ahead and talk about some things, man. So pretty much the plot of this simple, the plot ain't that deep, honestly. Actually, it gets deeper, and I can't tell you guys the deeper part of the plot, but I'll just tell you guys what's on the surface. Pretty much, the story is you have it's pretty much an Airbnb story, and you have two characters pretty much that meet up. If you guys don't know who that is, Bill Skarsgård, and I think her name is Gianna Campbell. I think that's her name, as Tess and Keith in the movie. And pretty much they are both brought to the same Airbnb, right? So they ended up, saying, screw it, we'll stage at each other's house, or at this house. And, can't say too much more than that, Now, I'm not gonna lie, when you first meet Bill Skarsgård, aka Keith, you guys know him. His biggest role has been It the Clown, right? So when we first are introduced to him, we're feeling, we as the audience members are so uneasy with him. He's kind of acting weird, doing weird things. Even Tess in the film was like, yeah, I don't really trust you off rip. But it's crazy how his character ends up turning out. Like I said, I ain't spoiling nothing, but it's just crazy how his character turned out in the film. But I just want to give really kudos to Bill Skarsgård and Gianna Campbell, I think that's how you say her name. Those two, I'll give them individually, but these two together, I thought really worked. I thought they both of them did such a great job. Let me pull this mic closer to me. But I thought they both did such a great job. Now, what I'm gonna talk about, Bill Skarsgård, pretty much like I said, he comes in as this kind of this weird. Well, he's not really. He's weird on surface because we haven't met him yet, and we've seen his previous works where we're like, oh, this dude's gonna be evil and stuff like that. But when you get to know his character, you're like, okay, I like it. And I like the way how Bill Skarsgård actually made like some like weird dude, like, and how he portrayed it and brought it to the screen. So yes, big kudos to Bill Skarsgård. He did such an amazing job, and I gotta give a huge kudos. I don't think I've even seen her in a lot of stuff lately, but her name in the film is Tess Marshall. That's her name in the film. But Gianna Campbell, I don't think I've seen too much of her work, like other previous films. But yo, this girl is amazing, y'all. I'm going to say it. She is flat out amazing. To see the complex and what her character has to go throughout the entire film. Like, her character starts here and then it has to go all the way up here. Like, yo, you're gonna appreciate the performance she puts on. And I think it's crazy because you have Bill Skarsgård, which is one of the best actors out, and you have her that's not really too big of a name. Not like his, but you just see that I think she kind of stole some scenes, honestly. I was like, yo, I'm really impressed by this actress right here. So yes, she did such a great job. And like I said, I can only talk about certain characters because if I talk about other characters, it becomes spoily. That's why I'm going to do a spoiler review. This is one of the films, like I said, you have to do a spoiler review. But man, those two, we get introduced to them from the get go, and we get comfortable with both of them. We learn both of their past, what they do, and stuff like that. So I think those two really did a really great job. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I had first seen this trailer, or they promoted it somehow, but the promotion behind this film was this was one of the scariest movies in years. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys. I'm not too sure if that was a critic that was in a coma for a couple of years and this was the first movie he saw or he's seen. But it's not, y'all. The layers, the plot twists and the layers that are with it, like I said, I'll talk about it in my spoiler review because I really want to talk about it really bad. But I mean, there's jump scares here and there, but they're not that good. I would say. I think honestly, like the figment of your imagination and what's going on, I think is a better aspect. Like once you really figure out what's going on and okay, this house is haunted as hell, then you're like, okay, yeah, but I don't. This is definitely not one of the scariest movies. I've seen way scary movies than this, honestly. But I mean, it does it has some gory moments. You definitely see where they get the R rating from. And do I have to talk about a character real quick, God? Yeah, like I said, very gory. There's some jump scares in there that's why I'll say go see with the audience, because there's those jump scares that's like, oh yeah, if there was an audience in here, they'd be going crazy for that one. But it's not truly scary, y'all. There's a character you get introduced to, and I don't even think he's in the trailer. So this movie, I think, to me, just honestly had a little bit of pacing issues, but that could have just been on me, honestly. Because the thing is, you get used to certain characters, right? And then halfway through the movie, you get introduced to another character. Now, I cannot find his name, or I cannot find him on there, but I don't even want to spoil it. But I just want to talk about a character that another character that's in the film. And I swear, nobody will be able to pass this challenge. I'm giving you guys a challenge, y'all. So there's a certain character that will show up in the film. His name is Justin Long. That's the real guy's name. Oh, he is in the trailer. Okay, cool. So his name is Justin Long. But I promise you, nobody's gonna pass this test. Pretty much. Go to the theater. If you've seen this before you go to the movies, go to a theater, and if you're old enough to drink, I promise you, buy a shot every time he says the B word. I promise you, you're gonna die. Dude, this dude says the B word so many times where it kind of irritated me. Now, yes, when you get introduced to his character, you know how his character is gonna end. I'm not spoiling anything. But when you meet him, you're like, oh, this is that type of character. Okay, got it. You know, I mean, I think he does Justin Long puts on a really good performance playing as AJ. But I didn't like them using the B word as excessively as they did in this one. It's like, yo, y'all do not have to run the B word that much. I think I was keeping count for a little bit, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I think they might have did it over 20 B words. But once you get introduced to his character, you see that his story and how his story is going and how his life's going. You kind of, I guess, see why he's using it so much. So, but like I said, y'all, they introduced his character for a simple reason, y'all. And I'm not spoiling nothing, but y'all, once you first get introduced to his character and they tell you the backstory of his character, you're like, oh, that's why he's here. Okay, boom. Yeah, I'm trying to think of stuff to say without giving the movie away. Like I said, this is one of those films where you don't need to go see the trailer. I think seeing the trailer doesn't do it justice. You know, this is one of those movies, I promise you, that you need to go into blind as possible, y'all. And I promise y'all that. I'm so glad I went into this blind. I didn't know a single thing about this movie until I saw it. And I'm so glad I did it. And I think you guys should do the exact same. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the third act. And I can't say anything about it. Because if I say anything about it, they don't give it away in the trailers. So I can't spoil it, y'all. Now, look forward to my spoiler review because I will be spoiling everything. And I'm probably going to post that, like, kind of close to when I post this one. But, yeah, it's hard. These ones are hard. It's like watching Infinity Endgame, Avengers Endgame. It's kind of hard to to do it without not spoiling anything. Oh, there is some cops in this movie, and I hate how they'll showcase how cops are so useless. I mean, they are sometimes, but like in this movie, they're like excessively useless. Like they pretty much are like, yeah, we can't do nothing for you, man. And it's like it's kind of stupid. But yeah, man, I think you know what? I'll get my last little thoughts out the way. For me, not knowing anything about this movie surprised the fuck out of me. Oh my god, do I want to go see this again with a crowd? Yes. Yes, I want to go see this again with a crowd. I want to see how a crowd reacts to the jump scares, the stuff that happens here, the characters you meet. You know, we're seeing characters and we're like, oh yeah, we don't trust that person. We don't trust that person. And I didn't get that type of sense of feel in the theater because, like I said, I was with a bunch of critics. But this is one of those movies where I wish it was like a public screening and it was a bunch of people that was in the theater with me. This movie was definitely better than expected, y'all. Better than expected. The trailer don't do this movie no type of justice. I can't give. It's crazy. I'm looking at my notes and I just can't. There's something I want to say, but I just can't say it because it's a spoiler. So I'll leave that for the spoiler review. Man, I'm giving my rating on this. Maybe I'm going too high, but I'm going 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, man. Definitely recommend this. Definitely recommend seeing this in a theater. My spoiler review will probably be like 30 minutes long because there's so much to talk about with spoilers. But yeah, man, definitely think this one's worth it, y'all. Y'all first time finding my channel, hit the subscribe button. Also, the video. Tell me your thoughts, complaint, criticisms, all down below. See you guys in the next one, man. Peace.